Thank you for joining us, everyone. Welcome to turndogmillionaire.com. I have another guest with me today. I'm happy to have Simon from the original Moff with me. It's a fantastic little product, and Simon's going to tell us all about it in a few seconds' time. So the usual game, if you're here via YouTube, please click through to the site at the end and make sure you check out Simon's website and Facebook page and Twitter and all that. I'll put all the links at the bottom of the video. So I came across Simon. He was recommended to me by a friend of mine, and I looked at his site and checked him out and got in touch, and we've had a few conversations since, and they've been very entertaining. So yeah, there's been some good things discussed. So Simon, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Simon's actually going to be moving to Canada soon. I think by the time this video goes out, he'll only be a week or two away. So appreciate you giving us a bit of time in your busy packing schedule. So will you start us off by giving us an overview of what the original Moff is and who you are and all that jazz?
Sure. Well, obviously, my name is Simon Harrison. I am a graduate of London South Bank University, where I've been on just a bit of a scholarship in a way for the last year, where I've been part of a scheme called the Enterprise and Associate Scheme, where the university has supported me for a year and helped me develop my business and get it off the ground. I got onto the course designing a portable inflatable crash barrier, which primarily I designed it for longboarding, skateboarding, mountain biking, road cycling, skiing, snowboarding, anything where low impact sports, you're not dealing with the vehicle speeds of up to 50, 60 mile an hour with the weight of about a human body. That's where I started a year ago. Unfortunately, that design, which although it did work, was going to take a lot of time and effort to develop, of which I only had a year to learn about business. So I thought, right, okay, let's put that one on the back burner for a little bit. So that one's gone on the back burner, and it's still there, and it's still ready to be developed. It just needs some more input to be developed. From there, I went into I've designed a couple of skateboard bags, but more of a high-end skateboard bag. And this is where the start of the Moff kind of starts to come in there, and what I'm doing right now. So the Moff was the name which I came up with for my latest invention. It all kind of ties in with the skateboard bags as well. So in November time last year, I started looking at the skate bags, developing the bags, kind of looking at them and thinking, okay, well, this would be quite a fun thing to do. There's definitely a market out there. There's people who look at normal skateboards and say, well, you know what? I'm not too sure. Come on, man, you're 30 years old and you still ride a skateboard. Yeah. Little do they know how much fun it actually is and how freeing it is as well. So I looked at doing the bags. And once again, I looked at them and I thought, well, you know what, this is going to take a lot of time in order to get the bags manufactured properly to the standards that I'd like them to be made at, sourcing the materials and so forth like that. So I once again came back to my original point of, I only have a year to learn about business. Right. I better find something which is quick and easy and fun that I can get up and off the ground with. So I came up with the Moff strap. And the Moff strap is it's a portable, I guess it's a seating solution for when you're in the outdoors. So you don't have to carry around a cumbersome camping chair. You don't have to carry around a mat or any other kind of normal chair-like device with you. What it is it is a strap that wraps around your body when you're sitting on the ground and keeps you in an upright seated position. So imagine normally when you're sitting on the ground, you end up hugging your knees. Well, what the strap does is it wraps around, it replaces your arms. So you're no longer hugging your knees. The strap does that for you, which allows you to relax and frees up your arms. It's an adjustable strap as well. So if you want to, sit with your legs a little bit further, So at a half position, so your legs kind of that kind of a thingy like that, or with your legs out. Sorry, my descriptions, my hand kind of descriptions are a bit all over the place. Or if you'd like to sit with the legs out straight, you can do that as well. So multiple faceted kind of a design. Um, really good for the outdoor market, but also very, very good for promotional kind of things. Yeah. Um, it's uh, yeah, it's more. It started as a brand, and it's now slowly starting to grow. Um, there's a range of things involved in it as well. It's not just a strap. As I said, I have skateboard bags. I have the t-shirts. I have some jewelry. Well, jewelry bracelets. Really cool little wooden bracelets.
It
Um, mhm.
it's actually one of the things I want to talk to you about is the actual artistic side of a brand because if you click through to the website, you'll see the logo and the style of the original Moff. And there it is. There we go. So you're obviously quite an artistic guy yourself. What was that part of the process? Because obviously you're very much an inventor. You like to get your hands dirty, actually creating things, doing the designs. What were the thought process around the actual design of everything of the brand?
Um, I guess in a way I kind of fell into it, which is I think kind of the best way of it happening. Um, I the skull came about from the skateboard bags. So I was designing the liner for the bags and the main logo for the bag. And with skateboarding and downhill longboarding, um, something that, especially with longboarding, something that you're always aware of is that, what you're doing is actually incredibly dangerous.
I can imagine.
Going down an open road at 60 mile an hour, with nothing to stop you from skidding off the side. Yeah, you almost everyone I know has had a near death experience. So, what I wanted to have in the logo was, something that kind of, a friendly reminder, just to kind of keep you in check and think, hey, you know what? Just don't get cocky. Just remember, just around the corner, that's right there. So I designed the skull, and I always liked the look of Mexican sugar skulls. So I thought, I'll play around with some. So I started to design some, and I think it probably took me about 2 weeks to kind of get it to the point where I was really, really happy with it, on and off, working on it, on and off. So I was really, really happy with it. And then I used it to do, so like the lining on the inside of the bag was very much, like a high end, like a Louis Vuitton kind of a look.
Nice.
Which is, quite an interesting look for a skateboard bag.
Yeah, it's a very distinctive logo. I remember when I first came across it, the first thing I saw was the logo, and it was something. It reminded me a lot of, and I think I discussed this with you in one of his previous chats. The Skull Candy brand. It's very distinctive. You recognise it straight away. And do you think this is something that can sort of go across various products? You've obviously got the Moff strap, you've got the bag, you're doing some jewelry. I remember you telling me about a few other ideas you've got in the pipeline, which we'll talk about in a little while. Do you think this is a kind of brand which can sort of diversify across quite a few product lines? And if so, what are you hoping people to perceive from the sort of the general overview of the brand?
Yeah, I totally believe that it can branch over several different areas. Um, I mean, currently I'm looking at more the outdoor. I mean, the outdoor sports market is obviously that's a big one, and it's quite an interesting market, and it's quite a good way to kind of break into the market. But at the same time, there's obviously um, your outdoor market, so your festivals. Um, if the weather was actually, played games, actually played ball, um, I've taken it to a couple of festivals already, and the and I've had fantastic results from it. People have come back and said, "Oh, this is absolutely fantastic," and it's funny how it works. One person buys it, and then another person buys it, and everyone kind of sees one after another, and before you know it, kind of going, "Oh wow, okay, I've sold quite a few of these now." So it's definitely you can definitely branch your different areas with the product, because it isn't just a sit strap. It can also be used as a promotional thing as well.
Hmm.
People sitting down if you're out hill walking, if you're out at a festival, if you're at a gallery. I had a friend today, met up with him at lunch, and I was selling him a Moff for he was away on holiday for Greece for a couple of weeks, and sitting in Pret-a-Manger, and I said, here's your Moff strap, and he went, okay, great, chatting to him about it, and he turned on and he put it on. We're sitting in the high stools next to the window, and he put on the Moff, and he was sitting there and he ate his whole lunch, and we sat there for about half an hour, and he sat there quite happily in his Moff strap, leaning back in the stool, which had no back in it, but he was able to because of the strap. So it's a you can use it in quite a few places. It's just a case of finding what part of the market is best for them all.
So what do you see as your prime target market? Because we were talking about it before, whether it's a consumer product or whether it's something to target to maybe like a drinks company or someone who's sponsoring some sort of festival and using it as a promotional tool. Who do you sort of see as the prime audience? It's obviously something that can be used in the outdoors market, but do you see it as a way of selling it on an individual one-to-one basis, or more of a sort of promotional add-on for a larger company?
To be honest, I'm a bit greedy like that. I'd like to see it go both ways.
Nice. It's always a good answer. Yeah, try and have everything.
Yeah, well, I think if you approach, if I can in the next 6 months to a year, what I'm currently doing is I'm building a client base of selling individually. So I'm starting a hype. I'm getting people talking about it, viral videos, different little marketing campaigns. So it's in the public eye, and people are looking at it and they're saying, "Okay, wow, well, this is a cool little thing," and get them thinking, "Well, where can I get one? Where can I get one?" At which point I'll be able to go to a brewery or an alcohol company and say, this is what I have. This is my market. This is what it's doing right now, and there is a need for it. From there, I can turn on and kind of in a cheeky way use the alcohol company to do my marketing, my advertising for me.
Yeah.
By saying, okay, here's a brilliant marketing tool. If you sell it in a way, so I'll give you 4 of my products, and you have it so that you buy 4 beers and you get a Moff strap. You buy 6 beers and you get a t-shirt. You buy 8 beers and you get a pair of sandals. And it's all it'll all be co-branded. So it's not just, a Heineken Moff strap or a Carling t-shirt. Because everyone has those. Nobody wants, yeah, okay, great, fantastic. You have another Heineken t-shirt. It's still a Heineken t-shirt. But if you're able to walk away with Heineken and a Moff t-shirt, so people can kind of go, well, now that's very interesting. That's totally different from what you normally get. People are going to be more interested in buying the product. So I think by turning around and selling with the alcohol companies, be able to get the name out there, and still sell in the stores as well. So people can turn on and say, wow, okay, well, it's obviously I'd say Grolsch, okay, a Grolsch and Moff sit strap that you have here. I saw one of those at Reading Festival last week. Wow, really cool, really, really awesome, but I didn't get a chance to buy one. They go into Blacks the next day, or they go into Ellis Brigham, or they look on, they find a sticker somewhere, anything else like that, and they have the website there as well. And they go, okay, great, well, actually, I can actually still get it from another route as well. Because obviously festivals are very much, not time, seasonal.
Yes. Well, it's a fascinating thing. So it's very much a case of trying to bring the consumer side into it, building the consumer brand, and then maybe forming some alliances with other companies as you go along. That side of things, really, it's going to take a sort of bit of time to just build up the hype, but it's certainly got legs for the sort of entire line of ideas that you've got. Speaking of all these other ideas, what other things have you got in the pipeline in the sort of coming sort of 12 months, 18 months? Because I remember speaking to you a few weeks back and you had quite a few ideas. So share a couple with us, the ones which you obviously can. I know a few are top secret.
um, the ones I can share with you right now. Well, obviously the bags you know about. I've mentioned them before. They are when I head out to Canada, I'll have access to. My mum is a professional seamstress, so I've pulled her on board. That she doesn't know it yet, but I've pulled her on board to be my prototyper for me.
Nice.
Because at the end of the day, trying to do all this on your own is incredibly difficult, and having a team that can help you prototype and build things is a massive asset. Um, so I've got the skate bags, and they're both a skate. It's more like a weekender bag, kind of a bag. So you'll have enough room to take. Imagine it would be a small duffel bag, so maybe 20 liters or so. And it'll be that classic British gun bag kind of a feel to it. So that really nice, thick, um, like duck down kind of material. So really nice, really thick, really heavy, very, very durable as well. And I also have a longboard bag, which is very similar to that as well. Once again, they're not going to be cheap, but that will be reflected in the quality. You know. I also have the other one which I'm quite excited about is it's a holder for your D-lock. So as it's so trendy at the moment to be running around on a single speed bike or just any bike at the moment, it's quite nice to see people are finally taking the step forward to go and cycle somewhere and get fit and kind of go, right, okay, well, yeah, let's instead of taking public transport, let's take a bike. Well, the problem with that, well, no, there's not a problem with that. Well, the problem cyclists may have with that is where do they carry their lock? You can put it on your bike, you can put it in your bag, but what happens if you're just going down to the store and you have nowhere to put your lock? So what you have is this is a holder for your D-lock. So it's for your U-lock. It's really simple. It slides onto your belt and sits just on the back of your hip there. And it's got two little holes where you slide your D-lock up through the holes, and then it sits down, and then you put the long part of the bolt down across that, and it sits nicely on your hip. Really nice, really secure, and it doesn't move around. Being a cyclist myself, numerous times I've been going to the store, going to the bank or something, and I don't want to carry a backpack with me, and I've just taken a lock with me, and the only way you can really kind of put the lock on you is you have to thread it through your belt loops, and put the lock on, and it's kind of hanging on. It gets very, very messy. It gets very messy, and there's been a couple of times where the lock has got caught up in my seat, and it just.
So how do you come across your ideas? Because is it very much just a case of it's something that you're doing anyway, and you just have an idea and think, oh, I wish I could buy something like this. You look into it and it's not available, so you just think, well, I might as well invent it myself. Is this how the Moff strap came about, and this idea for the lock and the bags and everything?
Yeah, and pretty much that's how the majority of my design comes through. Obviously, if I'm given a brief and someone says, can you design this for me? Yeah, sure. I have no problem doing that as well. I'll immerse myself in in whatever the design is for the next little while and kind of go, okay, right, that's actually okay. They want me to design, I don't know, a new cap for a bottle of pills, right? You sit down and you play with it for a little while and you kind of properly look at it and you use it, the existing products, and then you say, okay, well, this doesn't work and this doesn't work. Well, let's change that, and it's all about adapting what there is, pardon me, and uh, and just kind of improving. And yeah, uh, I would say I definitely do change and well, not change, but design for need.
Yeah, that's good. It's always a good way to sort of base it. You are your sort of target market initially. I think that's
Mhm.
always a good thing to go about it. So yeah, in the next 12 months, what do you see as your biggest challenge? You're very much at the start of your journey, about to move to Canada. You've got these ideas for this sort of line of different products which will house in this overall brand that you're building. What do you see as the main challenges and pitfalls and things that you are going to be struggling with in the next 12 months?
Um, I'd say the pitfalls that I'm going to have would be obviously route to market is that's a big one, and having people aware of the brand as well. So there's a lot of marketing involved in it. Um, and once I get to a certain point, then also the suppliers as well. Obviously, everything is made in the UK at the moment. Um, but if I can, and I'd like to keep it that way, and I'd like to keep using the suppliers that I have been using because they've worked with me really, really well. They've been absolutely fantastic with that. So normally I'd say one of the pitfalls would be um, manufacturers, but they're fine. Distributing, that is that'll be another pitfall in finding out who can distribute for me. Uh, obviously being in Canada, I'll have to have a distributor here in the UK. I'll have to speak to a friend about
Because
that.
Canada's quite it's a temporary thing, isn't it? Or at least you're planning it for it to be a temporary thing. It's obviously things can always change, but you're not moving to Canada for a sort of distant future, is that right?
No, no, no. I'm moving back for. I'm going to move back for the winter.
Hmm.
Go and spend some time up in the mountains. Take a break from London.
Was it just getting a bit too warm in England? You thought I need to go to Canada where it's going to be a bit colder, is that it? Too much of a
Yeah.
summer climate over here.
Oh, far too sunny and far too dry out here for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I thought, I need to go and check out the mountains and go and see some snow.
Give it about a week, we'll probably get it.
Oh man, I tell you what, earlier on today, I could have, it was beautiful blue skies, then all of a sudden the grey clouds rolled in and just thought,
There'll be
ah,
a lot of people watching this. Quite a lot of people who come to my site are from America. They won't have a clue what we're talking about. But just so you know, in England we've been having floods this summer rather than sunshine. So feel our pain. It's been a bit of a miserable last couple of months. So I certainly, I'm quite envious of your move to Canada. I think it'll be rather nice. But yeah, obviously there's going to be some issues. There's always going to be some challenges. But I think you've got a good grip on things moving forward. I think it'll be an exciting 12 months for you. So before we finish up, in
mhm.
3 words, would you be able to describe the Moff brand?
Oh, 3 words. Simple, fun, and innovative.
Innovative. Simple, fun, and innovative. That's good. It's a nice blend. Right. Well, thank you very much, Simon. Thank you for sharing your story. I am very much interested to see how it all plays out in the coming months. Thank you for watching this interview with us. If you're watching this on any other sites such as YouTube, please click through to my own site and check out the links below this video, which will take you through to Simon's Twitter feed and Facebook and website, and get a bit more of a grasp of what Simon does. Thank you very much for watching, and please take a look around turndogmillionaire.com. So Simon, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for the interview. It was really fun.
All right, thank you. And everyone watching, have a fantastic day. Cheers.